So the new Toy Story movie came out, and it's fantastic. It's really, really good. And so, in today's review or today's video of me just rambling about stuff, I have my letterbox review that way, so I can have some clarity in my thoughts. So we're gonna first off, if you just want the stars, it's 5 stars, just like how I think 1, 2, 3, and 4 are 5 stars. The only Toy Story movie I don't think is 5 stars is that Buzz Lightyear movie from like 4 years ago. I think that's probably like a 3.5 star movie. I've only ever seen it once and it was forever ago. That was one movie that was just kind of like, it happened, nothing really to think about. But yeah, I think this movie's great. I do have like two kind of like minor criticisms, more like kind of nitpicks, I guess. Spoilers, by the way. I feel like that's important. There's just a gremlin on my letterbox. What the fuck? Like literally, actually, I can't. A gremlin just like popped up on my letterbox screen. Anywho, so I'd say at the beginning of the movie is a little kind of all over the place because you do like you got three kind of different plots that converge into one plot, and the basic plot of this movie is probably one of the simplest. And I hate to use the word impactful, but it's one of the probably the least impactful. Like, I mean, the first one you have Buzz shows up. Second one you got Jesse and Bullseye. Third one they go to Bonnie. Fourth one Woody leaves. This one's whole plot is let's get Bonnie a friend. It's probably simple, yes. It's also the most topical. It made me cry a lot, and it's great, but it's simpler. And we got kind of these three plots that kind of converge into one, where you have these three groups of characters. You have Jesse and Bullseye hanging out with Conan O'Brien. You have Woody and Buzz, and then you have all the Buzz Lightyears. Obviously, kind of Jessie, she's got the main arc of this movie. Kind of, she's the first one that really does learn to kind of accept technology. Then you got, the two old heads and Woody and Buzz. And then you have the group of Buzzes, which represent the kind of the merger of the two. And that is kind of part of the themes of this movie is that, you know, maybe one too much, the iPad, if you're only on this all the time, yeah, that's probably not a good thing. But if you use it in a good, accurate amount of other things, that can also be good. And so, I guess that's really my only complaint. Is it like I think the beginning is like, it's juggling a lot of things and not a lot of time, and so yeah. But overall, like I still love it, obviously. So let's get into the absolutely peak. And so, as I kind of mentioned earlier, it's so sweet. This movie's so sweet. Obviously, I think I wasn't alive for the first two Toy Story movies, and then I was 3 when the third one came out. And then there's the fourth one, and I love the fourth one since it was the first movie I got to see how my life's been the past couple years. I think the message of kind of just being willing to move on is a good message. And then you got this one, which means a lot to me. Like, I spend too much time on my phone, and you can definitely. I love the fact that it shows the emotion of, like, what are the emotions that you feel from being on your phone too much and other people being on their phone, and how we treat each other, and how it can be kind of so easy to kind of just be a little more rude over technology. Such a great message. Such a great message. I teared up like 10 times while watching this. And there's two scenes. I'm going to see this movie again. There's two scenes I think are going to get me. There's one scene where Bonnie goes up to her parents and goes, "Why can't I make any friends?" And then there's another scene where Jesse's like, I can't do a Jesse voice. I'm not even going to try. But it's like, "Yee-haw, Emily named her kid after me." That's actually the worst Jesse voice of all time. I'm so sorry I made y'all hear that. That's so awful. But that one, I've only ever ugly cried during one movie. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Son of a bitch, Toy Story 5 came close. I'd also love to give a big shout out to Keanu Reeves. Dude's barely in the movie. He's just there for the love of the game. And the reason why that's a big deal is because I think it's Key and Peele are very obviously not in this movie. They did not want to be here, or Pixar did not want to pay them. their plot isn't super important. Their relevance ended in 4. Like, I don't know what they would have done if they were in this movie. I think the one thing I love about this movie, obviously you have your new character, Conan O'Brien. I think Bad Bunny as well. He's there too. But you have Conan O'Brien, Jesse, Woody, Buzz, and like it's really about that main trio, and that's what's so great about it. And I think of all of the ones, this is the one with definitely where the human plot of Bonnie and the friend she ends up making, 'cause like the whole plot of the movie is just we want to get Bonnie one friend. It's not, Woody dealing with the existential crisis of a new toy, or Woody dealing with the existential crisis of not getting played with, old in Toy Story 2. And it's not, Woody dealing with the existential crisis of not being able to be Andy's toy anymore. And it's not Woody dealing with the existential crisis of Bonnie, don't play with me. This movie, it just boils down to, I think, the toys wanting to get Bonnie a friend. And that's just the sweetest thing. Like, it's so sweet. Like, it's hard to put into words how fucking sweet this movie is. And I think obviously the friend is great in the movie. The Gremlin showed up again. What the fuck? Is that like, do you have to like shake it? You shake it and a gremlin shows up. Mind blowing. Another thing mind blowing is I think if you saw my very first or most recent video or oldest video that I have up on the channel, I've privatized so much crap on this channel, it's insane. I talked about my short film that I'm trying to work on, Passion Incorporated. And right now I'm kind of doing like a rewrite, not like rewrite, kind of redraft, just working on the dialogue. Cause like I just have to, at one point a character just like said something to say it. Cause it's like, it's important later. And it's a very emotional moment later. But where it kind of comes up, it's just like brought up. While in this kind of rewrite, it's still brought up in a sense, but it's brought up more like, not like bragging, but kind of gloating like. So I'm really proud of kind of how that ended up. It felt more natural. I was like, I'm proud of this thing that I did, not just, hey, this is something that I did. And like it makes sense in the course of the scene. But then also of all the scenes, it's kind of consists of really 4 kind of separate scenes. You have the intro, you have kind of the key incident, you have the whole kind of second act, which kind of cuts between stuff. And then you have the final sequence, which is where you see it switch from the second act to the third act. The kind of the inciting incident scene really ended up staying the same, which is something I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of that fact. Like, obviously, I kind of rewrote some of the action lines, some stuff, some dialogue might have been slightly changed, but it's not like a different scene. Granted, for the most part, like even the scene that did get a big change at the very beginning, it's still the same scene, but it's a little bit different. Anywho, y'all didn't come here to listen to me talk about the short film that hopefully one day I get the courage to make. We're here to talk about freaking Toy Story 5. It's great. I think this movie is probably the most important, even though I said it's like the least impactful in like the Toy Story cinematic universe, which by the way, I've still never seen Toy Story of Terror or like some of like the TV movies that they've done. I need to get on that. Although it's probably the least impactful from like how it like ends things, how it kind of shakes things up in that sense, as like the main thing is just Bonnie getting a friend. And, Jessie finding out that, she is a valuable toy. She is worthwhile. She does make an impact. Oh, my God. It's so fucking sweet. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Like, I cannot. It's so wholesome. Of all the movies in the Toy Story franchise, this is the one where it ends. I'm like, we're getting another one. Because, first off, this movie's very obviously going to make a ton of money. And they were able to do it in 3. And I read this on Twitter, the most reliable source on the internet. I read on Twitter that this had a quicker turnaround for all Toy Story movies, which, by the way, this has the best animation, just like the general animation, and then the play scenes. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie. The play scenes are brilliant. That is such a genius way to kind of reinvent the Toy Story, like, formula of, pushing animation boundaries. And it's not like that Spider-Verse. Obviously, the Spider-Verse style is great, and you see it in, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Puss in Boots. I haven't seen those last 2 movies I just said, but I know they're there. It's kind of its own thing, and it's freaking beautiful. So good. On another note, I think I'm going to go see Death of Robin Hood later this week. Hopefully that's also good. Anyway, back to Toy Story. Animation's great, but of all the movies, the movie ended. I'm like, obviously, I feel like I got a complete package. I feel like this is a very complete, beginning, middle, end, character arc, character development. No characters acting out. No characters acting strange. Like Jessie has very reasonable, great motivation in this movie because she's feeling the same thing she felt with Emily as she is now with Bonnie, and it makes sense because she's dealing with something that she hasn't experienced before. Well, I guess they have tech in those TV stuff, but I haven't seen that. I don't know what that's about, but she's dealing with kind of tech for the first time, and she doesn't know how to deal with it, and especially it's her movie. This is Jessie's movie, and it's great. And so kind of my question is now when we look at a Toy Story 6, which we're getting a Toy Story 6. Obviously 1, 2, and 3, the main character is Woody, but Buzz still has a lot to do, and the other toys. If that's an issue for you, because I know people didn't like how the other toys were sidelined. The other toys are sidelined in this one quite a bit. Woody and Buzz get stuff to do, and Jessie gets stuff to do, and Bullseye gets stuff to do. But if there's any Mr. Potato Head truthers out there, which by the way, the guy that did the new Mr. Potato Head voice, it was a little weird, but you get used to it. He's not in it that much. I don't know if you saw my video from yesterday, but if you did, you should go watch it. Or from 2 days ago, I think. My phone storage is actually on its last leg. I keep on got to go restart these. So what my point was that I was gonna make was that what I'm curious about, because I talked about the side characters don't get as much to do. I don't mind. I don't think Slinky Dog is gonna have much to do in this movie. What I thought was interesting is that obviously 1, 2, 3 are about the toys. 4's about Woody. 5's about Jessie. We're gonna get a 6. Is 6 gonna be about Buzz? Because Buzz's biggest arc came more in the first one. And then, but what's interesting is that he got his own movie. There's a Buzz Lightyear movie, and then obviously he has a big arc in the first one along with Woody. So that's kind of something I'm interested to see in is when we get a Toy Story 6. Is it going to be about Buzz? Is Buzz going to be our main focus? How in 4 the main focus was really, I remember I saw someone make the point that remember when we used to get the Star Wars movies that were Solo, a Star Wars story, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Someone said we should get it should have been called Woody, a Toy Story story. Wait, what? But someone that made that argument, obviously that didn't do that, thankfully. And so what I'm curious to see is when we get 6, and the only way we don't get 6 is if one of our main actors passes away, actors or actresses passes away, which obviously you hope never happens, but if that does happen, I do hope they stop. I don't Toy Story isn't you can recast the background people, but you can't recast Tom Hanks or Tim Allen. You just can't. It's like recasting Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. It just would not be the same. And so I'm certainly interested to see if/when more likely between those two when we get Toy Story 6. Buzz would be the next option. I think that's who it would be. I don't see Woody not coming back. Maybe they bring back Andy. That would probably be the most realistic thing. That I could see that kind of pushing the characters forward. Maybe there would be a time jump. Bonnie's older at this point. That's probably what a 6 would look like. I doubt we would have a young Bonnie since Bonnie has been young in 3, 4, and 5. If we got a 6, probably we would get an older Bonnie. And I'm plenty sure they would not just rehash 3. That's the one thing you cannot say about Toy Story. Every single movie really does stand on its own. Every movie has a unique story with unique themes, with very personal themes. I think that's the benefit of doing animation, having a long-running animated franchise with their kids' movies with adult themes. These themes can grow and change over time. Toy Story, this most recent one's about kind of being good about yourself, toys versus tech. The relationships that we have with each other. Oh, so good. Go see it. Be nice to people. Smile. Talk to person. If you're there early and there's a person sitting next to you, talk to them. I don't do that, but you should. I should probably listen to my own advice. But yeah, I need to figure out my phone storage situation so there's no more awkward cuts. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Boom.